What if I told you that free will might be an illusion? That your quote-unquote choices are actually shaped by your environment and the consequences of your actions. According to B.F. Skinner, everything you do is a result of operant conditioning, reinforced by rewards and punishments. But how does this all work? Let's dive in from the beginning. Viewers Frederick Skinner was born in 1904 in a small town in Pennsylvania. Growing up, he had a stable, loving upbringing surrounded by his father, mother, and little brother. Skinner was the original Bob the Builder, crafting gadgets like an elderberry sorter and a backwards cart and building a whole cabin with his brother. But as he got older, he dreamed of becoming a writer. He wrote his first book in high school and went to Hemel College to pursue becoming an author. But that dream soon died after some serious writer's block. He turned to psychology, earned his PhD at Harvard in 1931, and started developing ideas that would change psychology forever. He also got married and had 2 kids and died. But enough about the man. Let's get to his ideas. Skinner's core idea and focus was on behaviorism. While other psychologists dwelled on thoughts and feelings, Skinner believed in concrete, observable behavior, stuff you can see and measure. He studied how our actions are influenced by their outcomes. Skinner's most famous contribution is operant conditioning, a learning process that uses rewards and punishments to shape behavior. Think of training a puppy to sit with treats. Over time, the puppy associates sitting with rewards. That's operant conditioning in action. And Skinner didn't stop there. He explored different ways to reinforce or discourage behaviors. Operant conditioning relies on 2 factors, reinforcements and punishments. Reinforcement means the increasing behavior. Punishment means decreasing the behavior. Positive is going to mean adding something, and negative means taking away something. Keep these in mind. When it comes to positive reinforcement, that's when you give a treat to a dog when it sits, it'll more likely sit again. Where negative reinforcement is when you remove a loud sound when a rat presses a button, it'll press the button more. Positive punishment is when you scold a child for misbehaving, and it decreases that behavior. While negative punishment is going to be taking away a toy for rule breaking, which reduce the behavior. Operative conditioning includes positive and negative punishment to reduce unwanted behaviors, but both have limitations. Positive punishment can cause fear, anxiety, or aggression, which can hinder learning and create negative emotions. It might lead to avoidance behaviors instead of teaching the desired behavior. If applied inconsistently or perceived as unfair, it can be ineffective. Additionally, it doesn't teach alternative behaviors, only suppresses the unwanted ones. Negative punishment, the removal of positive stimulus, can cause frustration, potentially leading to aggression. Its effectiveness depends on individuals' sensitivity to the loss of the stimulus, and behavior may return if the stimulus is reintroduced. Inconsistent application reduces its effectiveness. Both methods can create a negative learning environment, increasing anxiety and reducing motivation. They also raise ethical concerns, especially physical punishment, regarding well-being in educational or behavioral settings. Skinner suggested that reinforcement is typically more effective than punishment, as it encourages the repetition of desired behaviors instead of suppressing unwanted ones. Now we get the gist of operant conditioning. How did Skinner go about proving this theory? For a man that believed in things that he could observe, he knew to create something that could help prove or disprove these ideas. Remember when I said Skinner was Bob the Builder? He kept those skills and built the Skinner box, a device that could systematically test his theories. Despite the creepy name, it's simple. A box with a button or lever that an animal can press, and a mechanism to deliver food or rewards, or punishments like mild shocks. By controlling the environment, Skinner studied how animals learned new behavior through rewards and punishments, proving key insights into operant conditioning. In experiments conducted using the Skinner box, the following steps were typically involved. Initially, the animal is allowed to explore the box. When it accidentally presses the lever, it receives a reward, like food. This positive reinforcement encourages the animal to repeat the action. It also shows the shaping of a behavior. Researchers manipulate the timing and frequency of the rewards. For instance, they might use continuous reinforcement regarding every lever press, and partial reinforcement, rewarding only some presses, to study how these schedules affect learning and behavior maintenance. This is going to be reinforcement schedules. The device can also be used to explore punishment. For an example, an animal might receive a mild shock for pressing the lever. helping researchers understand how negative consequences affect behavior modification. The experiments showed behaviors could be strengthened or weakened based on their consequences. Positive reinforcement increased behavior repetition, while negative decreased it. The Skinner box demonstrated how behaviors could be shaped through gradual reinforcement and revealed that different reinforcement schedules impact learning persistence. It also provided insights into how animals generalize or discriminate between different stimuli, greatly advancing our understanding of learning, behavior, and operant conditioning. Moving on to reinforcement schedules. These affect how behaviors are maintained. Continuous reinforcement is when we reward every action. It's great for quick learning, but behavior quickly goes into extinction once rewards stops. Extinction in simplest terms happens when a behavior that was previously reinforced stops getting that reinforcement, leading to the behavior gradually fading away. It was crucial to his work on behavior modification, showing that if rewards or attention are removed, certain behaviors can decrease over time. It explains how behaviors could be reduced or eliminated. The types of partial reinforcement are going to include fixed invariable interval schedule. For fixed ratio schedule, reinforcement occurs after a specific number of responses. This produces a high steady rate of responding with a pause for after reinforcement. An example would be a factory worker gets paid after producing 10 units. Variable ratio schedule means reinforcement occurs after an unpredictable number of responses. This produces high and consistent response rate. Behavior is highly resistant to extinction. An example would be slot machines that pay out after an unpredictable number of plays. Or fixed interval schedule is when reinforcement is provided after a fixed amount of time has passed, provided that the desired behavior occurs. This produces a scalped response behavior, with an increase in responding as the time for reinforcement approaches. An example would be a paycheck received after every 2 weeks. Or variable interval schedule is when reinforcement is provided after varying amounts of time, as long as the desired behavior occurs. Variable ratio schedules, like those in gambling, keep people engaged longer, making them highly effective for maintaining behaviors. Now, Skinner was not without controversies and his contributions. Skinner was a pivotal figure in behavior analysis, focusing on how behavior is shaped by its consequences through operant conditioning. His experimental methods and the principles he formulated have been widely applied across various fields. In education, techniques like positive reinforcement are used to encourage desired behaviors in students. In therapeutic settings, applied behavior analysis (ABA) are based on Skinner's ideas, especially for treating individuals with autism spectrum disorder or ASD. By reinforcing positive behaviors, Skinner's theories have also found application in animal training, where reinforcement is used to teach and shape specific behaviors in animals. Skinner's radical behaviorism extended traditional behaviorism by emphasizing the role of the environment in shaping behavior while rejecting internal states as valid tools. He argued that only observable behaviors should be the focus of scientific study, distancing his approach from others. Skinner criticized mentalism, which relies on unobservable processes as explanations for behavior, insisting instead on empirical research that could be tested and measured. However, many critics argued that B.F. Skinner's behaviorism oversimplifies human behavior by focusing only on observable actions and environmental influences. They believe that his theories ignore complex mental processes like thoughts, emotions, and intentions, emphasizing only external behavior. Critics think Skinner overlooks the role of consciousness and the internal experiences that makes humans unique. Other common critique is that Skinner's theories are deterministic, suggesting that behavior is entirely shaped by environmental stimuli and reinforcement. This means that human actions are seen as being controlled by environment, leaving little room for free will or personal choice. Critics feel this view undermines the idea of individuals having control over their actions and making consciousness decisions. In response to critics, Skinner and his supporters argue that focusing on observable behavior makes psychology more scientific and objective. They acknowledge the mental states exist but believe that since they can't be directly observed, they are difficult to scientifically study. On the criticism of determinism, Skinner believed that understanding how the environment shapes behavior could help create better social conditions, allowing for more positive behavior change. Skinner's use of conditioning, especially in experiments with animals like pigeons and rats, has raised ethical concerns. Critics question whether or not it is humane. Additionally, the application of operant conditioning in human settings, such as education or therapy, leads to debates about whether it is ethical to use methods that might manipulate or control behavior. Skinner's ideas live on, especially in fields where behavior modification is key. Applied behavior analysis, a technique based on Skinner's principles, remains a cornerstone in autism therapy. His emphasis on observable behavior in controlled experiments helped shift psychology toward a more empirical approach. While debates around free will and the ethics of behavior control persist, Skinner's legacy remains a testament to the power of reinforcement in shaping behavior and understanding in human actions. E.F. Skinner transformed the way we think about behavior, showing us that actions have consequences and those consequences can shape our lives. His idea about reinforcement, punishment, and behavior modification continue to influence psychology, education, and beyond. Love him or criticize him, Skinner's impact is undeniable, and who knows, maybe after watching this, you'll start noticing how the world around you shapes your choices too.